Well, isn't this amazing? We're out. We're out of the density. We're out of the density. And oh, I have to put the volume up. Yeah. Yeah, we're out of the density of the 555 portal. And that is we still have a little bit of those fluctuations that is coming our way. But we're going and we're doing better. So let's see what is going on for the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And when I was meditating, it was very interesting. I heard you're going fast speed forward, and everything that you want is in your hands. So everything the universe gave you already so many signs, so many synchronicities, so many um, messages that everything that you want is already here. It's already here. And you just need to trust that it's coming in flow, that it's going after this 5-5 portal. It's really going to push forward because we left a lot of stuff behind. I hope you all did the work that was needed to be done, letting go of old patterns, letting go of people in your life that no longer serve you, letting go of past wounds. It is, and we're still clearing, and that clearing doesn't stop because every time there's something else coming up. If it's from this life or from a past life that needs to be resolved, that's coming up to be cleared out of your system. And that's why you feel that density, that the more light comes in, the more things will dissolve. Um, and it was a pretty intense one when the Schumann hit resonance for the first time. Yoo-hoo, we have to celebrate about it. Hit 100 hertz, and that is pretty intense. This pretty you hardly can't move, and in that density you need to do the work. You need to take that rest, you need to take that time for yourself and say to yourself, okay, what is it that is still hindering me of moving forward? And when you did the work, this is such an amazing time because in my meditation, he said, you know, this morning you're heading fast speed forward because everything what you already sent out is coming in for you, and it's coming in with coming in fast. So the universe gave you already um, signs that it was available for you and that it was already working for you. So, and now we just have to tune in to that universe, what you want and what you need in your life, and take the action on it. So, let's see for the divine masculine what they say. You're a dolphin baby. You are of a Lemurian original and go in flow. You're timeless, you're adaptable, you're free, and take your time. Take your time to do the things that you need to do. Take your time for the things that you set out and you planted the seeds. Because you're a Lemurian original, you have so many lifetimes, so many things that uh, needs to be removed from your life. And they say you are free. So when they say you are free, they mean your soul is free. All the other things that you're thinking of, it's a human limitation. It doesn't have anything to do with your soul because your soul is free. When your soul is free, you can roam around. You can do all the things that you want. You have it in your hands here. It's tangible. So it's just for your human being needs to adapt it all. So if your brain kicks in and says, okay, this isn't possible, that isn't possible, I can't do this, or this doesn't work for me. Guess what? You're limiting yourself because that dolphin baby is playing. It's playful, it's free, free of hurt. I hear hurt. What to do with hurt? Hurt is from the mind. Hurt is from the mind because you give that emotion a meaning. And while we would go out of that thinking program and we ease our mind, you only discover that there is love. And I remember years ago that I was pretty intense. It was pretty hurting myself. And when I went into that meditation and they said, you're creating your own hurt. You're creating your own hurt. Because if you put your mind to rest and you go to your heart space, there is so much love that can be opened for you. And the only thing you look forward is to what is now and what is coming. If you go back, and repeat the same pattern, you hold yourself tight, you hold yourself stuck in that hurt program, in that fear program. So when you change that energy, everything will start to flow when you're in meditation. If you're lonely, there is no loneliness. That loneliness is something that you say to yourself. When you go in meditation, there is no loneliness. There's only love. There's only this beautiful space that will support you. So I would say go with the flow, release your control. Release that control that you need something, you want something, and you want it now. There is a divine will, an oceanic consciousness. And that means, sometimes the energies are rough. Don't fight it, give in. If you start to fight, you go in resistance and you go in that control system. There is a divine will, and the divine will say everything what is good for you, that is what you will receive. You can open your hands and you can receive it. But there's another side of it. If it's not good for you, you will find out. You will know that the universe will block you on all sides. That things don't flow, that things are stagnating, that things are getting blocked. Sometimes it's an influence from, could be from another person or could be from another energy that is mingling in that energy. Then you know that the divine will make it out to make it right. There is no other energy for instance, if it's not meant for you, it will not happen. If it's meant for you, it will happen. So in this oceanic consciousness that you are going with that flow and don't fight the current, but dive deep within yourself and put everything to stillness, at the bottom of the ocean. There's a lot of movement, but it's still, it's you don't have that you don't have those waves when you're on the surface. So go in that oceanic consciousness and go with that flow, you know. And yeah, we have another dolphin card for the divine masculine. Play. It's okay to play. Relax. Take your time. The things that you want, the things that you need in your life, will shift again. Everything is shifting, everything is flowing, and go with that energy. Um, go in that energy. Share your flow. You know, share what you have, share what is coming towards you, share your energy, share your love, share your playfulness with other people. So sometimes when people are in a rut, you know it's time, and you feel really well and you feel really okay. Drag those people out of it, get them out of their head, get them out of that energy. Sometimes they need support, that and especially for the masculine is really mind orientated. So you can help them, support them, and that's what the divine feminine does at the moment, supporting the divine masculine. But he also needs to have fun and play, have that, and that's okay. It's okay to leave the things behind and still enjoy yourself. So relax. Smile again, because it's time. You can't give somebody else so much power that you can't have fun in your life anymore. It's not a good thing. So smile again, have fun again, and share your flow with everyone who wants to share it, who you want to share it with. Okay, divine feminine. What is going on for the divine feminine? There's so much energy with the divine masculine, that is shifting at the moment. You know, if you and I also hear, um, building for the future. You're building for the future, and what you're building is not doing it just for you. You have a vision in your mind and you want to work towards that. So there is something that is stronger at the moment, to have that flow. For the divine feminine, grounding, feeling, clearing, and expressing. Breathe, divine feminine. You did so much. You were before the 555 portal, you were in such a uh, almost in a survival mode, almost living over yourself, because you had to maintain and go through it. Ground yourself, feel what you feel, clear the stuff that needs to clear, and express it. And that's exactly what the divine feminine did and does. There is no moon cycle, there is no sun cycle, there is no um, portal day, she doesn't do the work. And the more she clears out. People feel it in her energy. People, um, yeah, I hear people want the old you back. That's not possible. They only can do with the person that you are, because you're not to manipulate. You're not able to be controlled, because you're breathing through everything, and you're in such a state. You don't let other people influence your life anymore, because you know exactly where you're going, exactly where you're heading. So, and you see exactly what kind of direction you want to go. So, you're clearing all what is no longer serving you. And people that still wants the old you, that wants to control you, that wants to have, have um, want to dominate your energy. And then, yeah, I'm not going to share that. Um, uh, I hear some things that they say, and that's not the right frequency for me. So I'm not going to express that. Um, but and this is divine masculine, divine feminine energy. You can be a divine masculine and you can be a divine feminine, but it can also be vice versa. The energy for the divine feminine can be masculine, and the energy for the masculine can be feminine. So take that in mind. It's not people. It's not about people. It's about energy. Okay. So, clearing yourself, feeling what you feel, surrender in it, and express what your feelings are. When you're open and vulnerable, and that's a little thing, if you're open and vulnerable, then it means you don't have a harness on anymore. So you're free. You freed yourself from everything. So, yeah, breathe yourself into the light, breathe yourself into the place where you want to be. Create those cleansing moments for yourself. Maybe you have a soul tie with someone, and that soul tie is still there, but it's not sustaining anymore in your life. You need to clear out that soul tie. Take a salt bath. Work with rosemary in your bath. Black salt clearing is also a good one. Cut the cords. Let it go. Get it out of your system. And every time when they try to hook into you again, no, they throwing in another cord. So every time when you discuss this, every time when you have a discussion, every time when you have a meeting, clear those cords. And sometimes you will see when you throw a lot of light through those cords, and after that cutting it, people are coming back in because they feel that you're cutting them off, and they don't want that control system is saying, oh, whoa, whoa, where are you going? You need to be under my control because I have the reins. That's just the mind over matter, you know and they that energy is not sustainable when you are lifting yourself and you're in meditation and you're doing your work and you're clearing out and clearing out and clearing. Every time there's another clearing coming up. Then there's a clearing up coming up from this life. Then there's a clearing up coming from another life. And Divine Feminine, it's time to breathe. Take your time, take your time forever what you want. It's your life, it's your clearing, it's your pace. So, whatever you want to do with your, do it. Nobody can hold you back. No force is better, is higher than God. So, when you are in that force, you're not stoppable, you're unstoppable. And maybe if you had a very busy time, that it's time to say, okay, I take a step back and I'm going to relax and I'm going to take this time for myself because it's needed. It's needed that I take some breathings. It's time that I slow down and whatever you want. Because if you slow down, you also know that there's a time coming that you have to speed up, because then you get that push in your back that you have to get going. And then it's the exact time. If you keep going, eventually you get a burnout and you have to go to other because your nervous system gets so overloaded by going, that there is no other way for you to get that nervous system calm down. So, and you will feel that in your body, Divine Feminine, you will feel it. You start to shake, you will be restless, and everything will want to get out of the way. You want to you want to get away of the place, and because everything starts to um, uh, attack your nervous system, and that is what is happening. So you're probably already are over your limit. You're already um, in unease. You're already overstimulated. So take a step back, relax, keep breathing, and go with that flow. No, I need to wait, they say. Okay, there he is. Dove of peace for the Divine Feminine in the heart space. Stay in the heart, all is well, and be at peace. All is well when you're in your heart space. Be at peace. Well, so it could be that you're if you're going to let the outside world and people influence your state of being, go within, go in that heart space and be in peace. There is so much going on in this world, and people get upset. And of course, we have our warriors out there, that doing the work and that's doing the fighting. And most of the time, it's the men now that are stepping up and saying no more. We protect our women, we protect our children, and it's done. We're done with what is the manipulation and the under pressing the Divine Feminine. We're done with it. And they coming up for their family and humanity, because they do it for the whole human race, to say, okay, something needs to be happen. And after that, when everything is settled and they win the war, there's peace. You can't doing things without informing people. You can't do things um, out of the blue without any consent. Sometimes you have to need consent of the people because the land, the world is of people. And if there's just a handful of men that are controlling and deciding what is needed for this world, what is not the best thing at the moment, then you can get your gear on, your harness on, and go out there. And there are a lot of them out there at the moment that are doing that work. And the divine feminine is just going in that heart space and do the work for peace. So, and stay in that heart. Don't let that heart shut off. Don't let that heart um, cool down. You know, all is well, be at peace. And everything else is um, done by the mind. You know, fear, control, it's all mechanism, it's all controlled by the mind, it's all the program that's going on. So find that peace, relax, um, and withdraw yourself. Okay, travel for the divine for the divine feminine. Travel. Oh my gosh, I hear myself say, oh no, not again. Your life purpose contains travel, inner and outer travels, inner and outer journeys. Believe, believe in yourself, and there are big shifts happening at the moment. So, Lemuria, maybe you need to take a trip to Lemuria, Divine Feminine. Your inner and outer journeys. The inner journeys is when you're meditating, when you are visualizations, when you're doing the healing. And believe in yourself, believe who you are, believe that you are image, image after God, after goddess, whatever you want to say, and how, whatever you want to compare it with. There are big shifts coming up. We had those huge shifts. And because of those huge shifts that you transformed, that you did the work, that you uh, transmuted those emotions within yourself, the energy starts to flow again. And they say, yep, travel is needed for you to bring that light to another place. Go to places where you can upgrade that energy, where you can transmute that energy. So it's time for you to travel. It's time for you to um, accept that it is a part of your life. You know, accept that it is a part of your life. And in some cases, you get the support of the divine masculine. And that is beautiful because then when you travel and you do the work together, you know, the energies come together and it's intensifying the transmutation. It's transmutation, transmute the energy of the divine masculine, it transmute the energies of the divine feminine, and the place that you are that needs to be transmuted. It probably needs both of your energies. And you don't have to look because that divine masculine that is doing the work like you do is finding its way to you, you know, so you can work together, so you can transmute and do the things that needs to transmute. And that's really beautiful. What is the universe saying? The universe saying sovereignty. You have the right to choose and you're immune to hooks. Wow. That's what the universe says. Make yourself immune to hooks. Make yourself immune to communication or taking things on. See that you have a filter in front of you, and that everything that comes your way can be held back by that filter or that shield, whatever you project in front of you. So those hooks can't get leverage in your system, in your energy field. So and you're taking it out. It's the flight of the dragon. It's the dragon breath that is saying, okay, we're not allowing things from the outside coming in. And that takes training, because um, as you are if you are the pure being, and you're just there, and you're taking everything on, what is being said to you, um then you're so um you're so vulnerable, and it takes a long time to learn that. You get your training in it, you get your you get just after a while, the universe will say, okay, you're ready for next one. And then you get then you get the next one, and then you realize, like, oh, this one is not even reaching my ears anymore. And that's what's happening, because you're growing and growing and growing. And the beautiful part is, those people that are doing that to you, they learned you, they taught you how to become that way. And the most beautiful part of it, you still have your open heart. So you know exactly who you let in, and your body reacts. Your body reacts to that. So that's really beautiful. So stay in your sovereignty, stay in your own energy, you know, that is needed. And you have the right to choose which direction you want to go, with what kind of path you want to follow, um, and it's all connected. That's the weird part of it. We have different religions in this world, and we have different people in this world, but we're all connected. It's all the religions are saying the same, you know, unless there is someone that is changing the words and the rules that is being written. And that's not even the truth. The truth is always coming from the divine. So everybody has the right to choose and to follow religion, direction, the path, what they want to be, what they want to go, um, without any judgment. Because if you judge the people for it, you know, um, yeah, it says more about you than about other people. Accept everything. Acceptance. Accept everything in this world. And that's really amazing. You see what kind of doors opening for you when you accept everyone, everything in this world, because everything what is happening has a purpose. You know, the dark, the light, it all has a purpose. So don't condemn the people in your life that harmed you or harm you, because out of it is a lesson. And only you will understand that lesson. I'm grateful for all the things that went wrong in my life, because otherwise I would never be where I am now. That's also a part um, of our focus. Where are you focusing on? Focus on the gratitude. Focus on um, happiness, and that will come your way. It has to do with the law of attraction. For the divine feminine, who sees the divine masculine? She's seeing the divine masculine as a cosmic heart source. You're the source of all. You are a true home. Just be and have that heart connection. This is the source, the heart source. You've been seeing divine masculine by the divine feminine for your heart, not for who you are, not for what you're doing, not for your status, not for. The first thing she noticed was your soul and was your heart. So that's why she can be at ease with you. She recognized that you're the source of all, that you are carrying that energy within yourself of the divine masculine, of that you're carrying the source, that you're carrying it light, that you're carrying the goodness, that you're carrying the the service to humanity, the service to the feminine, service to everything. Just be, and be in that heart connection. Just be who you are. You don't need to be different or have to be someone. Who you are is already good enough, because you can't take everything with you. But I see this divine masculine is always eager to leave a legacy behind. And the cosmic heart source says, if you do it from your heart, if you do it from the talents I gave you, you will be recognized. And always, you will always be recognized. No matter how many disadvantages you get, or how many people in the opposition you get, you will always thrive when you're doing the things from your heart and when you're doing the things from your talent, because you got the talent from a source, and that's the cosmic heart source. So you have that heart connection. It could be you have a heart connection for multiple organizations, multiple people. But now it's saying, okay, you've been seen as this Lemurian original. You've been seen as the dolphin baby that's okay to play, because it's time that your heart needs to get activated again. Maybe you work too much in your mind, too much in what other people would say, maybe too much in a victim. As you know, there are no victims anymore, in this timeline. We all attract what is going on within ourselves, okay? What is the divine feminine seeing towards the divine masculine in his heart space? Divine blueprint. Divine feminine sees the divine blueprint within the divine masculine. Your source self embodiment. You're inspiration and you are ready. Ready for the things that is needed in your life, ready for the things that you want to do in your life, ready for everything. This is your template, your blueprint. And that blueprint is getting activated by the divine feminine. Your heart is activated, got an upgrade. Um, you are source self embodiment. So, whatever you want to embody, know it's coming from source, unless you make a different choice. There are so many choices you can make, but the divine feminine sees you are going to take the divine blueprint because you want to raise your energy. You want to go to another level. You want to get ready for the things that are coming ahead. And you are already ready. You are already ready. You want to be an inspiration for a lot of things for other people. So you are. You are. And you've been seen by the divine feminine. And the flow that you're going, you know, um, is that control is getting activated by the divine blueprint. So the less control you will have um, over situations, and you let go of that control, why would you give attention to something that wants to control you? Why would you give attention to something that wants to suppress you? Just give it the amount of energy that is needed and then let it go. Because everything what comes from the outside, you don't have control over. You have no grip on it, you know? It will do its work and its way anyway. But if you stay steady and you stay in balance, um, you are able to control your own world, to do what you need to do. You have control over that. Everything from the outside, it's like, let it go. You know, yeah. Don't give it the, don't give it the power um, to mess with your life. Okay. Don't give it, don't give the outside world not the power to control your life. And whatever people say, you know, tomorrow it's forgotten. You know, it's not important. It's not important. Some things are important, but then there we have our other people for. Then we have our warriors for, our fighters, our masculines that are standing up. You know, and if that's your job and if that's your task, you know, go for it. But if it's not your sole purpose, just stick with yourself and let it all go. Indigo child. You're an indigo child. You put your passion into action and you put it into community. You honor other people's truth. Go in a dialogue with yourself and inspire others. Well, that's exactly already what I channeled, right? Connect with your heart space because that's where the passion comes from. That's where your action is coming from. That's where what you're driving. That's the fire within you, you know, the fire that is seeing, and that's what the divine feminine sees for the divine masculine, because it's okay to play, it's okay to relax, it's okay to do the things that you want to do, and everything what you do and that comes out of your passion is also what creates your action. And that's not only for yourself, it's for a community, it's for people, it's for family. You are a supportive and an open-hearted um, person that is being seen by the divine feminine. You're also a seer. You're also a seer. You see and you feel very deeply. So that is what you're doing, and the gratefulness that you are carrying is really good, is really amazing. Um, you are inspiring people. You are inspiring other people to want and to do the same things as that you want or that you are doing. So that's really amazing. Don't do it out of control. Do it from the heart. Do it because you care about those people. You know, sometimes people are coming into your life and you discover they're totally different than you thought they were because they're wearing masks that want to give you a kind of an idea, you know, how they are. But when and then in public they are so great about you, but when you're one on one they only can demean you, diminish you, demeanor you, um, or dismiss you and demeanor you. You know, those people you don't want in your life. That's not the truth. It's not the heart space. It's all because they didn't do the work themselves, you know? And they want to give you the impression they're doing the work. So, and you see through everything. You see it. For the divine feminine, how the divine masculine sees you. The divine masculine sees you as the elven one. Divine creation, you're a goddess and you're a starborn. You carry the codes. You're a star-born architect. You're connected to the devas, and you have knowledge about the sacred geometry. So that's how the divine masculine sees you. You see the sacred geometry back into the earth, and you are connecting with that sacred geometry. You feel it, you see it, you let it activate yourself, and that's what you're doing. So you're a starborn architect. So you're someone from the stars that are creating a whole new life here on earth. You're activating people, you're creating your spaces where the energy will become higher, where things are being set in to change. Um, you're supporting and helping people um, where you can. If it's not possible for you to help, you will say so. But most of the time, you will help on a different way. You will help with energy, you will help with healing, you will help with whatever is in your power to help people. If it's not possible, you will say so. Okay. What is my masculine seeing about the heart space of the divine feminine? Your angelic one. Divine masculine sees the divine feminine as an angelic one. Divine healing happening to you. Divine grace and divine guidance is coming your way, divine feminine. That's what the divine masculine sees. You know, there is healing for you, there is change for you. You are healing other people, you're supporting other people, and grace is upon you, and it's coming your way. And the guidance that you get is from a higher source, is from another source, is um, is created by the light, is created by source. Um, Divine feminine has been already in such a darkness that I hear she's born out of darkness. She's coming from the womb. She's born out of darkness. She experienced a lot of darkness and a lot of um, negativity in her life. That the only thing she can do now is turn her face to the light, and that's where she gets her healing from. That's where she gets her guidance from. That's where she walks in grace. You know, doesn't mean that nothing happens ever again to her, but she knows how to cope with it. You know, there will be never a darkness that she wouldn't overcome. And then I think about Bridget, Goddess Bridget. She is the one that is endure. She gives you the endurance to walk through the fires that she is giving in your life. You know, sometimes the fires are transformation. You transform through fire, you transform through, and you heal by water, you know. So a lot of things are happening to you from Bridget. She is the poetry. She is the healing. She is the one that brings women together. So yeah, and she gives you the fire and the power to endure everything what's coming into your life. So you will overcome a lot of things when you're connected to her. Oh, now I understand the card of travel. So yeah, it's probably time to travel to Bridget. Okay. So that's what the divine masculine sees in the heart space of the divine feminine, of the dove of peace, that she chose, that she chooses peace. Divine feminine has so many storm. Oh, okay. He sees there's a storm coming in with the travel. It's okay. It's okay to feel it all. The collapse of the old, higher self, and realignment and cleansing. Okay, this was the 5-5 portal where we went through, and that was needed. We needed to clear, and so he is seeing that that is happening when you're traveling. And when you're traveling to places that has a high vibration, that is activating you, that is getting you to a kind of limit, you know, then it could be that their storm is coming up because things needed to clear out, needs to change, needs to transform. And that's exactly what happened with the divine feminine with the 555 portal. Because this portal was so intense, it was yeah, what I said. We had 100 hertz. Yep. And that means that there are huge transformation coming out of it. So out of the transformation, travels is coming, and you are going through healing. You know, every travel you do, every place you go, if you connected with the ancestors, there are always things coming up in your system that needs to be cleared out or be transmuted, because we carrying the DNA of the ancestors. We carrying all their hmm, emotions and energies, what they went through. We can clear it, um, because if we don't, we living in a superficial energy. When we do clear it out, when we do clear it out, it's a clearing of the old, clearing of what is engraved in our DNA, what we still holding. And when we let it go and we give our gratitude for them, because without our ancestors, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here without the stone circles, without the druids, without. That's probably also why you are so connected. If you're looking at movies or stuff like that, it probably will be sci-fi or very old new movies, from costume movies or things like that, because there are so many things that are connected to the ancestors, their behaviors, their rituals, that is still, active this time of time, in this time. So we are clearing a lot of all that old DNA out of our systems, past lives, um, trials, burning, massacre, everything. We are clearing that. We are clearing all that stuff. And it's not always an easy one, because the higher the frequencies are, the more we start to clear out, the more our body starts to transform and to say, okay, we need to let go of this, we need to let go of that, we need to let go of our systems. Sometimes um, sometimes we change, and then we see, okay, this behavior became from grievances, and then when we go to that heart space, we transmuting it, we giving it healing, and we giving it clearance, and giving it a place to let go out of our systems, so we can move on. So I don't understand where we need to go. You just stay in the now. Where I need to go. You need to go into the now, within, so you can feel what your soul purpose is and where you get guided to. And the universe says, cosmic self, you are a cosmic being. You're a multidimensional being. Your healing capacities. You see beyond the illusion. Stay grounded in your truth. So this is what the universe says to you. Stay in the middle, stay in your grounding, stay in your truth. whatever comes your way is divinely guided. So multidimensional healing, and see beyond the illusion. Yeah, that's what's happening now. We see all what's happening in the third dimensional realm. We all see what's happening in with humanity. We all see what is needed for us. Our third eyes are opening. Our intuition becomes sharper. Our visions will be clearer. The colors will be brighter. We hear sometimes we hear the ringing in the ear that becomes louder and louder because things needs our attention at that moment and at that time. So if you hear a ringing in your ear, or you're looking at something that you see that gives you an image, or gives you a sign that is needed for you at that moment, that you need to connect with. So see beyond, see beyond your eyes, see what is really going on. I heard with the 555 portal, I also heard we are ready to detect and to scan through the skins. And I do this already for a long time, that I can see through their skin what's behind the mask. And sometimes we see the draconians, sometimes we see the reptilians, sometimes we see them both working together, to try to control this system. Oh wow. And then I get the card of the bottom, depth of love. And even if you see that, you need to give them love, because they are not doing it themselves. There's an energy behind it that forced them to do the work that they need to do, because they signed a contract. And everybody who has a soul tie or has a contract, is connected to that energy. And they're not operating from their own, they're operating from that spirit that is connected to. But they're still need love. They're still in that space that they need to be respected, because they're human beings, and we can fight them, but that's not the right course to go. It's the time that we say, I see you, I see who you are, I see you from my heart space. That's more than you need, because they will reveal themselves, and they know that they are revealed. So in that space, let go, jump into love, jump into that space. Let go and go beyond the attachments, because you're not attached to that. You're not attached to that spirit. You're not attached to that energy. When the only thing you need to attach to is to the love in your heart. So that's what the divine says. That's what the cosmic order says. You're a cosmic self. You're a cosmic being. So let's see what the twin flame cards are saying about the union between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Know that the twin flames is always about the divine masculine and the divine feminine within. Okay. Intense change. There's an intense change going on in your life. Be aware of false twin flames or activators, or if a masculine says to you, and I know there is a lot going on at the moment to get the that the masculines are saying to the feminine, you are my twin flame. And if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. That's not your twin flame. Then it's a false twin flame. It's an activator. That person is just helping you to activate, to find your true twin flame. Your twin flame is within yourself. Your masculine and your feminine within. Your divine counterpart will always come from the outside. And I don't even want to call it twin flames anymore, but I still do, because a lot of people want to get the messages that they need. That's probably also why you're here. Because something within you says, I need to hear this, I need to listen to this. Yeah, not every, if a divine masculine tells you no, that it's also that they want you to hear. They want you to hear that, and if it's a soulmate, it's from a past life, it's a counterpart, whatever, keep your discernment, keep it open, because not everything is a twin flame journey. You are the twin flame journey. The path that you are walking is the twin flame journey. It's not a person. It's not, I have a feeling it's because there are so many tales about the twin flames. And when my guides told me it's not about a person, it's about the person you become to be on your awakening journey. That's the twin flame journey. The masculine and the feminine coming together in yourself without fighting the other one. Everybody, every masculine is a divine being. They're all they're all born out of darkness. And some stay there, some not. Some elevate, some not. So it's just everything. The only energy that exists is love. That's the only real thing. That's the only real thing that exists is love. Love heals, love activates, love makes everything brighter, shinier, bigger, and everything gets born out of love. So, one card for the divine feminine. And I need to tell you, the brighter you shine, the more darkness will get your for the divine feminine. Twin flame. Everything is possible. Yes, you walking your twin flame journey, divine feminine, and everything is possible. There's nothing that can limit you. There's nothing that can put you down. Sometimes you're going through that storm for healing, and just accept it what it is. But everything is possible. There is no limit. Not even the sky is a limit. It's going beyond and beyond and beyond. And there's so many things you can focus on. But focus on the heart. Focus on the purity. Focus on who you are. Focus on your service. Focus on the service to humanity. Focus on the service to Mother Earth and the realms. So and if you're love, you know, you got it all. So you will see it, you know, people that are walking that path of love, you will see it. They carry it, and you recognize each other. Divine masculine, I have another card for you. High priest. You're going through a personal empowerment, you know. This is this journey, what happens for you is a personal empowerment. And that's so beautiful. Out of a false twin is the high priest exists and starts to empower himself. You know, let the false twin behind him and starts to come in his real essence, in who he is. He's the priest, he's the magician, he is the emperor. He is going through that personal empowerment, and he needs to. We all go through that personal empowerment, because when you're coming out of a false twin flame relationship, or you're coming out of a long relationship or whatever, you know, you need to find yourself again, because the the pain and the grief that you experience is coming from leaving yourself behind, loving the other person more than you loved yourself. And when you're going through that empowerment, you gave your power away. You gave your power away. And when that power is coming back to you, and it can be that that power, your eyes are opening and you start to meditate and you start to go on your own journey, then your eyes are opening and you're going through that personal empowerment. Then it could be that it doesn't resonate anymore with each other, and the divine is saying, okay, time done, you know, it's time for something else, because otherwise the gaslighting, the abuse, the betrayal is coming in. And most of the time, um, we know that we betrayed ourselves by not staying in our truth, not staying in our own energy, but giving it away, give and give and give and give. And that's where the most frustration from the mind is coming from, you know. But if you're going through your self-empowerment and you know who you are, and you have your power, your inner power back, your inner strength back, then you know, okay, that's who I am, and I'm not giving that away for anyone. I stay in that space and I stay strong. Um, and the only thing what makes strong is love. You know, love makes you strong. Self-love makes you strong. Combined together makes you powerful. Okay. Um, honor the agreement. Honor your agreement. Mission in motion. So you have a mission here. You made an agreement with the divine. You made agreement with your guides, with your angels, and it could be in a time of um, when you needed it most. That comes out of a tower moment, that you are asked to honor your mission. So if something is not working good for you or not working well for you, you know, then you need to concentrate on your mission. What is your mission? What is your passion? Where do you want to take action on? And that's under the agreement with who you are and with source. So that's your mission in motion. Okay. And they will say exactly where you want to go, where you need to go. You know, look at the signs, look at the information, look what pops up in your vision. You will get enough signs where to go. Okay. All the love, all the blessings, and I see you next time. Bye bye.